Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about the 10 things you can do now to make more money in trucking in 2025. But first, roll the intro. Welcome back. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, your trucking careers, as well as cover the lows we successfully book for our customers, consisting of leased owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming. And let's talk about these 10 things you can do now to make more money in trucking this year, 2025. Guys, goes without saying, the rates are definitely fluctuating up and down, as you'll see in the second portion of the video today. But there's definitely 10 things that you can do now that you're already doing that you could be doing better or differently or not doing at all to be able to make more money, to keep more money, to basically run more efficiently, keep more of the net out of the gross that you're working so hard to make every single day on the road. So without further ado, let's jump in. Number one on the list, without question, is going to be to negotiate higher rates. Guys, do the market research, understand how the supply chain works, how our the marketplace, how the spot market works, how seasonality, freight, commodities, how the flow of the freight, understand how to price freight and where the markets that you're leaving and how you're possibly underpricing things or asking for way too much for what you're actually getting. So there's a lot to it. It's definitely a lost art, but do your market research, practice, make lots of calls, have lots of conversations, read, and definitely learn, or get yourself a strong dispatcher. Number two on the list would be to optimize fuel costs. At the end of the day, guys, for the vast majority of the industry, your fuel cost is going to be your biggest expense. Now, for some of you guys, those of you who've financed equipment over the last, say, 1, 2, or 3 years, you probably have some astronomical payments, which might be eclipsing your fuel costs. But for the vast majority, it's going to be fuel costs. So use fuel discount programs, and more importantly, learn how to use them properly. There's definitely a lot that can be said, different networks, different companies, different discounts. Way too many of you guys, even now, are using your entry-level basic store cards for your big truck stops and just basically getting free showers and free soda pop. There's a lot more that you're leaving on the table, a lot of money. And if you use the software and you learn the software that comes with it and train your drivers, you're going to save substantially. And then if you really want to make things better, track how much your drivers are saving you on a monthly basis. Take a piece of that and give back to them as a bonus. They definitely will appreciate the fact that you've noticed, you've recognized it, and they'll definitely appreciate the money as well. So definitely give that a shot. The next thing I would say is to minimize useless deadhead miles. Guys, we've made 2 videos over the last few years. One was a short that I did recently. I'll leave it a card here in the corner. And the second one was a longer video like this. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And it'll get the idea across in a very fun manner. So I'll leave a little card here in the corner for that as well. So definitely take a look at that. Deadhead is your friend at times and can be an enemy at others. Just make sure you know the difference and when to use it. Number 4 would be to diversify. Guys, diversify. If you got a reefer, try a van. Got a van, try a reefer. You can rent equipment. You could try loadouts. Try hazmat. Make sure you have all your paperwork and your insurance. All the documentation, everything you'll need to be safe and secure. Try seafood if you're a reefer. You're going to have some additional insurances, maybe some connections of a few different writers, things like that on your policy. But it certainly may be worth it if you find the right contact. Ultimately, get out of your comfort zone with the idea of different markets. In the winter, I'll only stay in the South and the Southeast. I won't go to California. New York's not for me. I don't go to special states that require permits, things like that. Get out of your head. Get out of the comfort zone. Go out there. Make the very best that the market has to offer to you. No excuses. You're not a company driver. You're a carrier or a leased owner operator. You went on your own for a reason. You can't be playing these games. So next up is going to be to leverage technology. Leverage technology, guys. Load boards. Use more than one. but not too many because you want to confuse yourself. Within those load boards, make sure you're using filters because like our guys know, we use filters quite heavily because we know what we're looking for. Other guys will leave everything open, just do very light filtration, ultimately are calling on brokers on lows that they really shouldn't even bother themselves. And when they're tied up on a phone, a good one comes up and our guy's going to take it. You're going to miss out on it. So definitely use the right software and know how to use that software. Use fuel applications. Make sure, again, you teach your drivers on how to use those applications because a lot of times you can get 10 cents here and 30 cents across the street. Make sure to take advantage of that. Furthermore, make sure that you're using ELD data for those of you who have company drivers. This way you're going to get a better idea of how your driver drives, and you're going to be able to get them the very best types of loads for their style of driving, ultimately benefiting your bottom line and padding their pocket as well. And finally, track your AR. Guys, accounts receivable. Way too many of you are not following up on that. Those of you guys who are not factoring your loads, you're waiting on your net 30, more power to you. But the problem is you're waiting 30, 40, 60 days and then waking up to it. The brokers still end up paying you. But the problem is they're held onto your money for upwards of a month. You used it and you got no interest on it. You need your money. Get that cash flow up and running, guys. So definitely do that. Next up is going to be to focus on PMs, your preventative maintenance. Guys, this will only help you avoid costly OTR breakdowns. Make sure you take care of your equipment while at home so you're not stuck somewhere, OTR side of the road. You're going to get nickel and dime completely and dragged through the coals by the mechanics that are there because you're an out-of-state carrier. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you might even have a load in the back of you that you really need to deliver. So you'll pay whatever it takes to get your truck back on the road, and they'll take your money. So take care of your PM while at home, and then you can rest assured that everything's fine when you're on the road. So there's that. Next, I would say factoring. Since we've talked about some of that, factoring, just make sure you understand how it works, your terms, your rates, what, the function of it is, and why you got it in the first place. The idea is to increase and improve your cash flow. Very beneficial for those of you guys starting out at the very beginning, unless you have a ton of money that you're sitting on. Ultimately, understand whether factoring is a friend or a foe. Way too many of you guys are stuck on it because it's like a drug. You get a load, you deliver it, send it in, money comes in, you spend it just as quick. So unfortunately, a lot of you guys are stuck in that loop and need to get out of that. So definitely make sure you understand how that functions. Next up is going to be to get all your permits and maximize your truck capacity. Way too many of you guys, like I said earlier, I won't go to New York, I won't do HUT, I won't do KYUs, I won't do Connecticut, I won't do New Mexico, I won't do California, Oregon, blah, 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 blah. Why not? Some of these permits are free. Some of them are very, very inexpensive. Some of them are long-term permits. Even if you don't use them, who cares? You lost a few bucks. And if you do use them, then guess what? You might be able to get in there for really good money, get out of there for good money because other guys didn't want to do the paperwork and you got all the permits. So take care of that yourself. Plenty of companies do it for you. And if you need help, we won't do it for you, but we got an email that I can send you that will walk you through on how you can get those permits yourself. So you don't have to pay anybody. Next up is to adjust your insurance costs and lower your premiums because ultimately, guys, way too many of you are running out there overinsured. You have your insurance brokers who basically pad the invoices, tell you all kinds of stuff, put all sorts of, the additional insurance on there that you don't actually need, certain policies, certain riders, certain additions on there that you don't need and only benefits them and their commission check, but you're paying for it. So get rid of it and keep some of that money in your pocket. And finally, wouldn't be a dispatch channel if I didn't say this. Consider a dispatch service, whether that's us or somebody else. Certainly pick us. We're the best. But at the end of the day, guys, you're going to get higher paying loads. You're going to get lower stress, lower your stress levels. You're going to have your back office work handled, your paperwork packets, insurance certificates, your billing and invoicing, a lot of the stuff. And you're working one-on-one with dispatchers who actually know what they're doing. Have booked way more trucks, way more loads, work with way more brokers than you ever will in your entire career. So at the end of the day, get yourself a strong dispatcher, back office in-house, and your dispatch ultimately works for you and not against you. And that's how it should be. Guys, questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'll switch over the camera. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Guys, this week, it's all vans across the board. Everyone did quite well. And things are definitely looking up. Some very efficient dispatching in some of these cases. Lots of money in just 6 days. But let's get started. First, we're going to start with David, his dry van coming out of Hebron, Kentucky, going out to Richland, Missouri. It's a light load, 15,000 pounds of lighting products. It was listed as fragile, so David is definitely the right driver for that. 505 loaded miles, booked at $1,200, got him $238 a loaded mile. Next, Cuba, Missouri, coming out to Longview, Texas, 42,000 pound load of auto parts. 537 loaded miles, booked at 1425, an excellent rate at 265 a loaded mile. Then Hawkins, Texas, going to Monroe, Louisiana, 45.6 of bottled water. Heavy load. Luckily, a short run, 194 loaded miles, booked at $750. Got him an easy 387 a loaded mile. Finished off strong with Greenville, Mississippi, coming out to Billings, Montana, 41,000 pound load of agricultural materials, 1,604 loaded miles, booked at 38.75, got him 242 a loaded mile. That was it. 7 days on a road, Monday to Monday. David ran his drive-in for 2,840 loaded miles, got 202 deadhead miles, so quite good, and ended up grossing a respectable $7,250 in gross, running at 255 per loaded mile and 238 with deadhead included. So absolutely a fantastic gross, an excellent average. Very, very well done. Excellent job, sir. Moving on to Marat, also a drive-in. The rest of the guys, everyone's at drive-in this week. Eastman, Georgia, coming out of Baltimore, Maryland, 10,000 pound light load industrial supply, 715 loaded miles at $1,500. Got him 210 a loaded mile. Then right out of Baltimore, zero deadhead, coming out to Warren, Indiana, 44,000 pound load of feed, 560 loaded miles at $900. Got him a $161 to get out of there. And then out of Muncie, Indiana, coming out to St. James, Missouri. It's a 35,000 pound load of glass bottles, 399 loaded miles at $950. Got him 238 a loaded mile once he moved markets. Next up would be Marshall, Missouri, coming out to Staten Island, New York. Load of pipe couplings, 35,000 pounds worth, 1,150 loaded miles. Booked that at $3,350, got him $291 a loaded mile. It's coming out of Staten Island. It's going to definitely cost you a bit and a headache, but guess what? Tuesday to Monday, 6 days on the road, ended up grossing $6,700 in just 6 days, ran 2,824 loaded miles, 132 deadhead miles, so quite efficient. Gross $6,700. That's 237 a loaded mile and 227 with deadhead included. 2,824 loaded miles. An absolutely excellent job, sir. Way to go. Next, you're going to go to Damian. Totally different approach, just a couple of lows and booked it up. 7 days on the road. Santee, California, going to Lombard, Illinois, 30,000 pound load of decor. It's 2,065 loaded miles, booked at $4,400 and $49.80. That got on 215 a loaded mile. Then out of Franksville, Wisconsin, went to Avenel, New Jersey. It's a 42,000 pound load of beverages, 870 loaded miles, booked at $23.8250. Got him 274 a loaded mile there. Really strange numbers on both ends, but adds up into the same good green dollar. Friday to Friday, 7 days on the road, $6,832 in gross, $2,935 in, let's see, $68.32, and let's not forget the 30 cents. Ended up with 2,935 loaded miles, only 73 deadhead miles, and all in all, 233 a loaded mile with 227 with deadhead included. So very, very efficient dispatching. Not the heaviest freight, really good money, excellent money, honestly, for the way the market is today. So excellent job there, Damian. Moving on to Michael. Sunrise, or actually Surprise, Arizona, going to Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. 44,000 pound load of plastic containers, 1,839 loaded miles, booked at $3,700. Got him 201 a loaded mile. Then Lemire, Wisconsin, looks like 2 drops in Atlanta, Georgia, and Fort Mill, South Carolina. 1 pick, 2 drop, 21,000 pound light load of print material, 1,116 loaded miles at $2,900. Got him 260 a loaded mile, brought up the average. Did an excellent job. Also 6 days, Friday to Thursday, gross $6,600 in gross, 2,955 loaded miles, only 87 deadhead miles, 223 a loaded mile, and with deadhead included, dropped it down just to 217. So very, very respectable numbers, over $1,000 a day, 6 days on the road. Way to go, Michael. Way to go. Next, we got Philip in his drive-in coming out of Gothenburg, Nebraska, going to Massillon, Ohio. It's a 42,000 pound load of dry goods, 1,062 loaded miles at $2,000. Got him $1.88 to get out of there. Then Dover, Ohio to Hendersonville, or Henderson, Kentucky. It's a 40,000 pound load of wall panels, 450 loaded miles at $1,000. Got him $222 a loaded mile. Then Evansville, Indiana to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, a 12,500 pound load, very light load of metal, but it's non-recycled metal, so that we know. 609 loaded miles, booked at $1,270, got him 209 a loaded mile. Then Ladysmith, Wisconsin to Shell Rock, Iowa. It's a 45,000 pound, definitely heavier, general merchandise load, 256 loaded miles at $750, got him $293 per loaded mile there. Finished up with, let's see, Arlington, Iowa, going to Martin, Michigan. It's a 43.5 load eggs and egg substitutes. 417 loaded miles, booked at $1,100 bucks, got him 264 a loaded mile on that one. So lots of loads in 7 days, Friday to Friday, gross $6,120 in gross, ran 2,794 loaded miles, only 148 deadhead miles considering all the loads that he did within those 7 days. Got him down to 219 a loaded mile, and deadhead included is 208. So an excellent job, definitely very good money, and not the heaviest of loads in some of the cases. 12.5 and a longer run, I like it. So way to go, Philip. And last but certainly not least, we have another 6 days on the road. Greg is the name, Dry Van is the game. Rochester, Washington, going to Helena, Montana. 15,000 pound light loaded domestic appliances, 652 loaded miles, booked to 1,600 bucks, got him 245 a loaded mile. Now took the bite on the next one out of Bozeman, Montana, going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's a 9,000 pound load of musical instrument parts and accessories, 1,550 loaded miles at 2,750, got him $1.77 on that one. Now understand, that's a fantastic rate. Here's why. You might say it's under $2, Vitaly. I got to highlight this. It's Bozeman, Montana. You're coming out and you're going to Fort Wayne, Indiana in a dry van from a bad market to an excellent market for that equipment type. Fantastic. And it's only 9,000 pounds and you're getting $1.77 on that one to get there. And it's Fort Wayne. I think you did a good job. And it makes sense because out of Chelsea, Michigan, took a load to Johnson City, Tennessee, Abington, Virginia, and a final in Hickory, North Carolina. All in, 34,000 pound load of dry grocery food, 710 loaded miles, booked out at 2,100, got him 296 a loaded mile. Definitely makes up for the difference on $1.77, and he's going to be in North Carolina, likely going to have a better load for next week. 6 days on the road, Wednesday to Tuesday, $6,450 in gross, 2,912 loaded miles. That's 229 deadhead miles in total. And ultimately, that got him 221 a loaded mile and dropped him down to 205 with the deadhead included, 229 deadhead miles. So an excellent job, 6 days. Again, over $1,000 a day. You guys can do the same thing. Just takes the right dispatcher. Welcome back, and thanks for sticking around. Guys, as you can see, the rates are still quite decent. And here's the thing. You take care of those 10 things we mentioned at the very beginning of this video, and you're going to keep more of the money you're already earning. You do the things better, less expensive, more efficiently. You're going to keep more of your money. But best of all is on the revenue side. Get yourself a strong dispatcher. This way, cut out the stress, get higher paying loads, run more efficiently, have the second pair of eyes on there, and have someone who's working for you, not against you. Super, super important. You want to learn about our services, we can certainly help you out, whether you're a carrier, have your own MC authority, maybe have company drivers, or you're a leased on owner operator just looking for a better opportunity. Guys, we're here for you. Call or text us at 801-448-6363 or go to our website at aftdispatch.com. Again, 801-448-6363. Call or text that number or aftdispatch.com. And until next week, guys, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.